Which Dorito flavor reigns supreme? Today we're going to find that out. And I've got the 5 mainstream flavors right here for everybody to see. We got Salsa Verde, Spicy Nacho, Nacho Cheese, Cool Ranch, and my nemesis, Spicy Sweet Chili, which took me forever to find, weeks to find, but we found it, and we have all of our chips, all are in date, because I bought these. I had to buy here's what happened. Snacks.com. It's the website that it's owned and operated, I think, by Doritos. I don't remember who owns Doritos, but they sell like all the chips, right? That's like their official thing. I ordered these bags of all 5 flavors. They didn't have small bags of the purple, so I ordered a large bag of the purple, and I ordered a large bag of the green, and I ordered these small bags from Snacks.com, and they sent me a box, no purple Doritos in it. So then I go back, check my order, it says, sorry, we didn't have any purple Doritos, so you got this stuff, thanks for your business. So that was the first indication that there might be a problem. Then the next one was that I couldn't find them anywhere. And then suddenly, in the last week, they've reappeared. Now, a bunch of other people told me that they're fine and they can find them everywhere. I don't know what it is in my area, but I could not find them until recently. So now we can finally do our big video of the 5 mainstream Doritos flavors. So I want to definitively rank the 5 mainstream flavors. So we're not including the new barbecue, which is okay because, it's not really, that special. We're not including like the flaming hot ones or the flaming hot lemon ones and stuff like that because those flavors come and go. These 5 are the staple mainstream flavors that usually are in stock all the time and have been for years, especially these 3. I mean, obviously these 2, the OGs. Spicy Nacho, I would also consider an OG because it's been out for I don't know how long, a long time. These 2, kind of newer, but they've definitely been around for multiple years now, and they're sticking around. So these are why I would consider them the staples of the Dorito business. And I've tried them all before, and I have some preformed opinions, but I want to confirm them by tasting them on the video and sharing my opinions with you. Now, the question really is, what should I start with? Do I start with the OGs, or do I start with the new boys and girls? I don't know. I think I should start with this is hard. I don't know whether I should start with the new ones or the old ones. So you know what I'm going to do? The old, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by its tail. If the collars let him go. My mama told me to pick the very best one, and you are it. We're starting with Cool Ranch Doritos. And I'm going to rate these on a scale of 4 out of 5, as usual, but then I'm also going to put them in order, because there's a possibility that there might be, 2 5s, I think is very, very much a possibility there'll be 2 5s. But I will put one above the other, because it's got to be a list. It's got to be a ranked list. So we'll start with our good friend, Cool Ranch Doritos, which I don't get that often. I only get every once in a while, kind of to break up the cheddar flavor, the nacho cheesiness, but is welcome. So let's go ahead and take a bite. So, Cool Ranch Doritos. They're great. They're tangy. They're cool. I think Cool Ranch is a great name. They're tangy. They have a tangy ranch flavor, but it's not leaning in too much into the ranch, because if it tasted just like ranch, it would be weird. Instead, it's got this kind of more sour taste to it than a normal ranch would have, and it's just very refreshing and nice. I understand a lot of people love these and would rank these as number 1. I don't think I will, but, never say never. But I would give them a 5. I think Cool Ranch Doritos are a classic for a reason. People love them for a reason. They're great. The only problem for me is that I feel like they're a chip I can't binge as much as I could binge the cheese-based ones. I feel like I can eat a whole bag of nacho cheese or spicy nacho, but I don't think I could eat this whole bag right now because the flavor is a little bit more intense, which is maybe a better thing, depending on what you want. But Cool Ranch, definitive for a reason. Let's pick another one. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by its tail. If the hollers let him go. My mama told me to pick the very best one, and you are it. Nacho cheese. So we're going classics first. This, of course, is the OG Dorito flavor. I think we all know where we stand on this. I do too, but for the sake of completionist, for the sake of being thorough and making this video definitive, I will eat another one right now and give you some thoughts. So the OG, Nacho Cheese. Now, as I was eating this, I had kind of an epiphany. I'm not sure that I want to rank these higher than Cool Ranch. I think that I'm so used to spicy nacho and the more powerful flavor of spicy nacho that when I go to regular Doritos, which I do have occasionally, there's something lacking. There's amount of seasoning lacking, which is also a complaint I have about Doritos in general. I feel like, and this could just be my feeling, that Doritos are just less seasoned these days. It could just be me. But it's just not as strong of a flavor as I'm used to. It's very mild, it's pleasant, it's good. I could eat this whole bag versus where I couldn't eat the whole bag of Cool Ranch, but that's because this is a very mild, cheesy flavor. It's just very pleasant and nice, but not what I would call stand out necessarily. So I think I'm gonna have to rank this behind. So currently we have Cool Ranch at number 1 and Nacho Cheese at number 2, which is not what I was expecting coming into this video, but comparing them side by side, Nacho Cheese is going to have to be the number 2 chip, but it's still going to get a 5 because it's Doritos, Nacho Cheese. I mean, what am I going to do here? I can't not give it a 5. I love these. I've had them, my whole life. The nostalgia factor is too strong to not give it a 5, but I don't think it's quite as compelling as the Cool Ranch, which is a surprise. So, again, Cool Ranch is number 1 right now, so where we're going to go from here, we'll find out. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe, told me to pick the very best one, and you are it. Salsa Verde. I feel like this is kind of the dark horse candidate here. I feel like this one I remember liking, but I never really got again. Like I got this like a year ago, or I've gotten it before to try, and then before I was making videos, and then I never really got it again, but I did like it. So this could be our dark horse candidate. I will see where it ranks after I try it, but Salsa Verde, you might sneak up on us. Let's find out. Smell very interesting. Don't look very interesting. Salsa Verde just look almost like plain chips, but we'll see. So here we go. Let me take this one. Try it. I'd say these are pleasantly spicy, but not quite what I remembered. The taste is very, I don't want to use the word subtle because subtle would not be a fitting description because they do have a decent amount of spice. But the actual taste of pepper, it's like a jalapeno taste, is not super strong. It's not the main flavor exactly. It more feels like the verde, like I guess it's salsa verde, meaning green sauce kind of thing. But what you get is kind of more of a hint of fresh jalapeno. Like that's what you get when the smell and the taste, but it's not very strong. Mostly it's more of a kind of generic heat. I don't know if that makes sense exactly. They have, I think that the flavor is good, even though I'm not usually someone who would like a jalapeno taste. Like I don't mind a jalapeno heat because a jalapeno is something I could handle heat-wise, at least with the pepper scraped out, or the seeds. But I don't generally like the actual taste of jalapeno. I know people really love it, but I don't like that kind of fresh pepper taste. And these do have that, but it's subtle enough that I kind of like it, but I don't love it. So Salsa Verde in a hard spot. I'm going to give them a 3 out of 5. I think that they are competent. They're good. But they're not something special. They're not something I would really recommend necessarily. You might want to try them, but I think that they're more of a middle-of-the-road chip. They do the job. They are what they say they are. They're spicy enough, but not super spicy. So if you're somebody who likes spice, this is not going to be spicy to you. To me, it's like right on the level of being a decent spice that I can handle, which I appreciate, but it's not enough to rank it higher. So Salsa Verde, 3 out of 5 in third place. Now we have 2 left. The one I assume will be number 1, which is Spicy Nacho, but I don't want to assume too much. And our purple bag, the Sweet Spicy Chili, which took forever to find. So here we go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by its toe. If it owns no go, mama told me to pick the very best one, and you are it. Purple. We're going spicy sweet chili. From what I remember, I didn't like this, but I'm going to go in with an open mind, and I'm going to drink some of this Pepsi to clear my palate, you know, get the Salsa Verde taste out, and see what we get. See how, you know, see how spicy it is and how sweet it is. I think I'm generally not somebody, I'm definitely a sweet and salty guy. I like sweet and saltiness. I like, you know, like chocolate dip pretzels. I like the sweet and salty dynamic. The sweet and spicy dynamic is just not one I've really found a great example of that I really like. So maybe we'll find it here in sweet spicy chili. Ooh, even the smell kind of turns me off. I feel like I got like some kind of latent, you know, like psychological barrier with these chips, and I don't know why. It could just be because I spent weeks trying to find it and now I'm mad at them. But I'm just gonna, you know, let that go. And, you know, let them breathe. Let it all come out. Get to a zen place. And try it. I'll say this, these are not really at all what I remembered them being, but I also still don't like them in a different way than I was expecting. First of all, I wouldn't say they're spicy. I had a good, I don't know, 10 or 12 chips trying to think about it. Not spicy at all. The Salsa Verde is actually significantly spicier than these are. The second problem, way too sweet. So the balance here, even if you are a sweet, spicy kind of person, I don't think you're going to like the balance necessarily of the sweet and spice with this. Third, chili. No, I'm not getting any chili flavor. The weird thing about this, and the first chip I ate, this is my first initial thought, right? Pops in my head. It tasted like soy sauce or Oriental, that's what it used to be called. They changed it to soy sauce, ramen packet. And so if you are a poor person, if you were poor when you grew up like me, you probably have eaten a cheap like Top Ramen or Maruchan ramen dry and taken the seasoning out and kind of poured it on top and shook it up and had it like a snack. I used to do that all the time, and I would do it with the soy sauce ones. And this tastes very similar to that, but with added sugar, which doesn't really jive. It doesn't make sense. But the taste is so spot on. I was like, there's no possible way that this does not have soy sauce in it. So I looked on the back. Ingredients: corn, vegetable oil, salt, sugar, monosodium glutamate, which is, of course, MSG, which is featured very heavily in ramen. MSG adds, you know, it adds flavor, that's fine, but it is a ramen ingredient. And then right after that, we got fructose, so more sugar, and then soy sauce. So two of the big ingredients in these chips are soy sauce and MSG. Very, very similar to a ramen packet. It has, you know, it has kind of an Asian flair to it, which is not what I would expect from spicy sweet chili. It doesn't really give that impression on the bag or from the name. And there's not really any chilies in here. You go down the list: corn protein, garlic powder, yeast, maltic acid, paprika spices. So generic spices, but I wouldn't, there's no chili spice that's really identifiable in here. With the Verde chips here, let's see, they also have monosodium glutamate. That just might be a general ingredient, but after that, you have jalapeno powder, tomato powder, paprika, onion, blah, 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 garlic, vinegar. So these, parsley, and lemon juice. So these have actual flavors that are kind of like, you know, Hispanic Mexican flavors that make sense in a salsa verde. This is just weird. I don't honestly know if anybody would like it. You must really like sweetness with your chips to enjoy this, but the spice does not even offset it. It's not spicy. So I don't really know who would be a fan of the purple ones. I'm probably not going to eat this bag, and by probably I mean I'm definitely not. So this is kind of, you know, a waste of $4. But anyways, on to our last. Save the best for last. Oh, I got to give these a review score. 1. 1 out of 5. Easily in last place. On to the best Dorito, I believe. The presumptive winner. We'll see in a couple seconds, but spicy nacho Doritos, my go-to. I buy these all the time. I have another big bag over there, but I got this small bag for the video, so I'm going to use it. Spicy nacho, it's legit. And you can see here, they're basically just look like the regular chips, but a little bit like, well, if I could get a good one. Like the regular chips, but just a little bit darker. This one's good, well seasoned, which is nice. So we'll start with this one, give it a shot, but I think you already know where this is going. I only have one problem with this bag of chips, and that is that the seasoning is lacking severely. I mean, hopefully, I don't know if you can really tell looking at these chips, but there's like no seasoning on most of them. It's very Spartan. It's very bare, which is a problem I've had with a lot of Doritos lately, as I've said. Otherwise, you know, I love spicy nacho. That sucks. I really hate when that happens, and I had to poke in here and get the good chips, which is how I do it. I'll look in the bag and get the best seasoned chips first and leave the ones for later that aren't seasoned. That might not be the best way to do it, but, you know, get the best first and leave the rest for later. That's my motto. But spicy nacho, fantastic. Easily my favorite, as I suspected, but I had to confirm. 5 out of 5. I was trying to compare the ingredients to here. They're pretty much all the same ingredients, except just in different ratios. This one has cheddar cheese first. This one has Romano cheese first. This one has garlic powder higher up on the list. This one has garlic powder a little lower on the list. But then you have the generic spices, which covers whatever. I don't know what that covers exactly, because these do have a spice to them that's not present in here, even though the ingredients don't really display that. So it's kind of hidden in there in spices. I don't know exactly what gives these their spice. But I like them. They're not quite as spicy as Salsa Verde, but they are close to Salsa Verde. They're the perfect spice for me, I think. Like I said, with Salsa Verde, it's also pretty much in the perfect spice zone. It's enough to kind of warm your mouth, maybe give you a little bit of tinglies, but not too much, and you can still taste the flavor of the chips, which in this case is still nacho. It's still cheesy, but in a different way. It's not quite as cheddary, which is, you know, fantastic. I don't know exactly what the ratios are, but they hit it right. It's cheesy, it's spicy, it's pretty much perfect. It just needs to be better seasoned. That's really the only issue I have with Doritos Spicy Nacho. 5 out of 5, and our winner today. So, in terms of the lineup, we have Spicy Nacho, number 1. Cool Ranch, coming in number 2. A little bit unexpected. I was not prepared for that. I figured Nacho Cheese would be number 2, but instead it's number 3. And these are our 3 5 out of 5s, and not coincidentally, they're the 3 oldest chips that are Doritos, you know, flavors. Well, I guess there is a taco flavor, but that one's kind of hard to find and regional, I think, so we're not going to count that. But there is a taco flavor that I believe is probably older than Spicy Nacho, maybe even older than Cool Ranch, maybe even older than Nacho Cheese. I don't know. The taco flavor might be the original flavor. Have to look that up, but forget about taco flavor for now. Number 3, Nacho Cheese. Number 4, with a solid effort, I'll say, Salsa Verde. I still think that they're okay. They're worthwhile. Some people might really love them, but they're just not up to the task of these 3. These 3 are the godfathers. This one's the up-and-comer, but it's just not quite on the level. And spicy sweet chili, which is just terrible and should not exist and needs to go away, I think. So that's our ranking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See them here. Put them down. I hope with that everybody knows the definitive tale of Nacho Cheese. I don't know why I said Nacho Cheese. The definitive tale of Doritos. These are what you want. If you're in the store and you're not sure what you want, go with one of these 3. That would be my recommendation, but my ultimate recommendation would be Spicy Nacho. And if you're feeling like, I don't want Nacho Cheese today, Cool Ranch. And if you're feeling like, I don't want to taste, you know, I don't want to go out of my comfort zone. I just want something nostalgic and classic and not, you know, something that's not going to blow me away. You got Nacho Cheese there in the backup. And maybe Salsa Verde if you want to try something different, but it's a distant third, or I mean a distant fourth compared to the OG3. So that's my Doritos video, my unnecessarily long Doritos taste test video. But we figured some things out. I think scientifically we figured a lot of things out today. And this is the definitive ranking. So anybody else says otherwise, they're wrong. And with that, I will see you all next time.